Let's take a look at a couple of environmental stories this week in the NASP Safety News Break Roundup of drinking water, stormwater, climate change, and chemical safety news. To get things started, the worst lead poisoning case in recent American history will result in no one seeing any jail time. The Michigan Attorney General's office dropped criminal charges against all remaining defendants in the Flint drinking water contamination crisis in 2014. Flint lawmakers and water utility officials switched water supplies after the city of Detroit raised rates. Water from the Flint River then flowed through unused pipes that weren't lead oxidized. Doctors reported a handful of children testing sky high for lead that summer. So far, the federal government has funneled upwards of $200 million to fix Flint's mess. If you are familiar with PFAS, then you may know that there are massive lawsuits taking place against companies who have been discharging these chemicals for decades. PFAS are man-made chemicals that have been used in industry and consumer products worldwide since the 1950s. They've been used in non-stick cookware, water-repellent clothing, stain-resistant fabrics and carpets, some cosmetics, some firefighting foams, and products that resist grease, water, and oil. Many scientific articles have been published about PFAS exposure and health effects. While it is difficult to show that substances directly caused health conditions in humans, scientific studies have shown that exposure to some PFAS in the environment may be linked to harmful health effects in humans and animals, including liver damage, thyroid disease, decreased fertility, high cholesterol, obesity, hormone suppression, and cancer. These chemicals can easily migrate into the air, dust, food, soil, and water. More research is needed to better understand the health effects of PFAS exposure. That being said, Vermont is suing major chemical manufacturers for contaminating groundwater sources with per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances. Like New Jersey and North Carolina, Vermont is seeking billions of dollars in damages to clean up groundwater tainted by these so-called forever chemicals. In other news, there are changes coming to Washington State's Industrial Stormwater General Permit. Two industries were added to the permit: marine construction and renting or leasing companies of construction, transportation, and mining equipment. The Washington Department of Ecology also proposes to change the timing of the first fall storm event, referred to as a first flush, from October 1st to after September 1st. And lastly, facilities that meet benchmarks for 8 straight quarters will no longer be eligible to take a 3-year break from stormwater monitoring as they once enjoyed. And finally, New York lawmakers are on schedule to pass one of the widest-ranging climate change laws with an end goal of all renewable energy by 2040. Unlike other states' net zero carbon goals, the Empire State's Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act forces regulators to impose greenhouse gas reduction regulations on sectors like agriculture and forestry, commercial and office buildings, chemical manufacturing, transportation, and energy production. The energy sector will need to reach a 70% renewable fuel benchmark by 2030. Industry advocates warn the cost of electricity will spike as a result. That wraps up our environmental news roundup. Let us know what you thought about these stories in the comments section below, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss the next NASP Safety News Break.